All right, so just quickly explaining to you how the IP stuff works without going too deep into it. In short, assume that every single time a campaign is created, we assign a specific server or IP to your campaign. So no one else can access that particular campaign while your campaign is running. And that's just how our unique algorithm works. We've built a way to handle that. And then once your campaign finishes, what we do is we basically have an assessment pool that decides whether your results, based upon our maths, were actually positive or negative. And then what we do is then we take that particular IP or server, take it whichever way we want, and then we promote that into our desired pool, or we get rid of it based upon that maths that I just spoke about. So at worst, you as a user are getting a fresh IP address that you can build leverage off without having any net negative effects from someone running a really bad campaign. Maybe you shared a server IP with someone else who had really bad cleaning, right? And they had a high bounce rate. You won't have that at all with our service. And at best, you end up getting a pre-warmed up, a pre-well-reputed server or IP address that makes sure that you're taken care of and your deliverability as good as it gets. So that's our guarantee that you're going to get that success, which is fantastic. Now, to explain to you how this entire system works, because we're not actually giving you an IP address. You're still using your own SMTP network and your own SMTP service. All we're doing is just walking you through how the process operates over here. Imagine this is you, right? So we have a little computer, right? This computer sitting over there. All right, added in that computer for you. So this is where you are accessing Smartlead from, and then you send a request, and that request comes to our network, right? Now this network is basically where the request to your SMTP system is made to. That might be Gmail, Zoho, Yahoo, Outlook, or your own custom SMTP network, right? This is that intermediary point. What we realized is where you send this request from makes a difference in terms of the outcome this has on the end result, right? So in a situation where you select a campaign, you start a campaign called beta testing. That campaign is allocated to this IP address. So emails will be sent from this IP, requests will be sent from this IP address to this SMTP server, whichever one yours is, and then from there it's going to go there. So this arrow is what is going to have a net effect in terms of that deliverability, right? Because this is the sending, so the request originates from here. And that request origination has a net effect on whether this email, this arrow, ends up in this person's actual inbox or whether it goes somewhere else. So this is the part we control. And this arrow that I'm showing you over here is that whole promotion thing that I mentioned, where in a situation, a server has, or maybe someone's run a bad campaign and they have high bounce rate and the maths doesn't work for us. We just get rid of that. We added a new server. So all of this, by the way, completely works invincibly at the background, has no effect on you, has nothing. And we're always improving and adjusting algorithm because we are working with some of the most advanced and complex engineering models that exist with thousands of engineers who are extremely smart. So we're trying our best to make sure that we always are one step ahead at the best that we can be. So that is in effect how this works over here. You send a request to our system decides which server to use or IP to use, and then that sends a request to the middle point, right, which is Outlook, Yahoo, whatever, and then they are the ones that send the email in the end. I want to be very clear in that we are not the ones sending the emails. We don't have our own custom IP or SMTP network. We are relying on Google, Zoho, Outlook, Yahoo, or your own custom SMTP network. All we're doing over here is changing the way and the place from which the initial request originates from, which we've seen has a net effect on the overall deliverability. And this, by the way, is a very extensive pool of residential IP addresses that we have access to, that we continuously refresh and grow, and it works through Amazon. That's where our infrastructure is built. So I hope this helps you, and let me know if there's any other questions I can answer. Thank you.